Hey, Split Paw, thanks for the response. You brought up a interesting topic about IPv6. Uh, thing that's kind of held IPv6 back was about the time they rolled out that standard. That's when NAT, and I think it's RFC 1234, something like that. Uh, some RFC took off that you know the address you mentioned, the 192.168.x.x. That's one of those. I think it's 1234 RFC 1234 addresses, and that's what most people use on their home networks. That's what that 192.1. Whatever is like the default for you buy a Linksys router and set up your home network to share a broadband connection with. There's other ranges. There's the Class A range, which is 10.0.0.0, and then there's a Class B range, 172.0. You know. So anyway, those are the private IP addresses that are commonly used, and that sort of gave IPv4 a new lease on life. If it wasn't for that, we would have run out of IPv4 addresses probably 5 years ago. But the thing is, as more and more broadband internet gets rolled out, and you start having these WiMAX networks and these and all these wireless devices like your iPhones, your Blackberries, and the whole one laptop per child initiative. As more of these networks get rolled out, we are going to exhaust the IPv4 addresses, and we're going to be forced to go to IPv6, which interesting. I didn't, the privacy concern that you raised about IPv6. I hadn't heard that one before, but you raise a good point, because basically what you're talking about is, let's say you've got a home network, you got a broadband connection, you're sharing maybe 3 computers, yours, your wife's, your kids' computer, maybe a print server or something like that, and as it is right now, that whole network, you're using one of those NAT addresses, one of those private addresses range, and that's sort of and that sort of hides your network behind your router, behind your firewall from the open internet. IPv6 would make it possible for each and every one of those devices to have its very own real IP address, and thus be openly visible to the actual internet. So that is a concern. So basically, if you're using IPv6, that's going to take a lot of that's going to mean a lot more configuration, basically, on your home firewall or on your home router to build that sort of that veil back that you had with NAT. That's a good point. Thanks for the video response.